All right, Shalom. I want to start by giving all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh Shemal Shah by Shem Kakodash. Double honors to the apostle and elders of Great Millstone, and Shalom to all the Akiman that push your word of sincerity and in truth. Yeah, and it's just is more evidence of the fall of the society, America, as well as the neighboring societies. You have China, Russia, Israel. All these countries are being hit. They're being bombarded by the Lord through pestilence, through scarcity of food, which is going to lead up to a famine, through war. It tells you in Revelations how these different nations are going to battle in the war Armageddon. All right, the Valley of Jehoshaphat. All right, the gathering of the troops. Um, and these different nations are going to be judged. All right, and it's already spoken in the prophecies about Moab. All right, Moab going to be basically broken down. It speaks about how Moab is a proud nation. And China is damn near as proud as America, man. The Chinese the Chinese citizens, they have a level of entitlement. They feel like they're the ones that create and actually govern and generate everything in the world, which, truthfully speaking, everything is damn near made in China. But that gives them a sense of arrogancy and self-entitlement. They have a ego about themselves, and the Lord is jacking them up also. It's already all kind of biometrics and all kind of technological dystopianism that's going on in China, to the point where basically the common citizen is being strangled by the government or the powers that be, and this is also more things that's hitting in China. This pig Ebola. And I'm gonna read a little bit on it. It says pig Ebola epidemic threatens to unleash stagflation across China. It says, with Chinese pigs getting slaughtered left and right to contain the breakout of African swine fever, also known as pig Ebola, so are pork shorts, as meat processors around the world scramble to sell more pork to China to make up for sharp shortages of China's most popular protein. So China's most popular protein is pork. And of course, we all know Leviticus 11:7, how the swine is an unclean, abominable beast. It's not to be used for consumption, but rather as a trash compactor, so to speak. Swine's main job and main function on the planet Earth is to eat leftovers. All right, they're really the livestock bottom feeders. Whatever you throw a pig, it'll consume it and basically break it down. That's why they don't have any sweat glands. Their whole physiological makeup is to break down trash and dirt. And China's, as well as America and all these other countries, they have a very, very strong affinity to the swine. All right, they have a love and a passion for swine. The different cuts of swine, chitlins, and the all these different things where you could bacon, sausages, and all these different things, pork chops. The list goes on and on. You can make 1,000 things off of pork, and these pigs are being plagued, man. And these same plagues are going to hit across America. That's why when you watch these epidemic movies, it's usually the disease gets contracted through either a pig, through a bat, flies and different things, and it actually gets consumed by the people, and the people end up getting sick. So it says the consequences is tighter supplies in the U.S. and Europe, which is pushing up prices. And as the disease continues to spread throughout China, the world's largest producer and consumer, the trend will only get worse. So as we see that China's being plagued and getting hit over the head, this same disaster is going to touch home in America. So it says, case in point, U.S. retail prices for boneless hams hit $4.31 per pound in March, the highest since 2015. Right, so China being a large producer of pork, that's going to soar the prices. That's going to spike the prices in America as well as other places. All right, and that's more hell, man. Because the Lord is beating these nations down, and He's not just chopping the head off the snake. The Lord is the master warrior, so to speak. Scripture speak about Exodus 15:3. The Lord is a man of war, and he gets a thrill out of the hunt, man. He gets a thrill out of breaking these different nations down economically, financially. He's hitting them technologically. He's doing all these different things, agriculturally, to bust them down. All right, and it says, ham it up. America's Easter ham cost the most in 4 years due to China's hog disease, and you can see the scale from 2014 to 2019. The numbers are spiking. But it says, but none of this compares to what is about to hit China, where consumers are bracing for a shock as pork prices may surge more than 70% in the second half of this year, an agriculture ministry official said last month, as the country's pork output has plunged as much as 30% this year. So they're losing a lot of supplies. And I did a lesson on an article recently about even America and their corn belt. All right, how they're not yielding their increase, and there's reference as they reference a Farmageddon. So you have diseases going in the pork supply, the food supplies, as well as the agriculture and things of that nature. And it's going to come a time where it's not going to be enough food to supply for each and every citizen, because what people are having children more and more. All right, day by day, the increase is coming, and the food is yielding less and less. And brothers want to go through the fullness of the article. Of course, please do so. You see the picture, but I wanted to go into this right here because you see China is basically being hit. African swine fever reported in Hong Kong and more Vietnamese regions in May, and you see how, of course, it's being hit all throughout. So if this same food is being supplied to American consumers, that sickness is going to definitely hit Jake. And we already know who's the main pork consumers. A lot of you Israelites, man. In America, a lot of you Israelites, you blacks, you Hispanics, you Native Americans, all right, and the so-called white man too. These other nations, just like Chinese, they have they take a strong liking to the swine. But these things are going to lead to getting you sicker, breaking your immune system down, and getting you ready for this pestilence, man. Because the prophecies already spoke about how there is going to be a pestilence outbreak. Whether it's foodborne, whether it's airborne, we don't know through the spirit. But we do know that there is, according to prophecy, going to be a big pestilence that's going to touch home in these different cities. So this is Jeremiah 21:6. And I will smite the inhabitants of the city, both man and beast. They shall die of a great pestilence. I'm going to go into that word pestilence. The word is debar in the Hebrew, which is a murrain, a plague, a cattle disease. And it's not a pig Ebola, a disease of the livestock, or a disease of cattle, a cattle plague. Of course it is. So the prophecies already spoke about how the Lord is going to plague these different places, and we're seeing it going on before our eyes. And this is just the beginning stages. All right, the volume of it is gonna turn up more and more to the point where you Americans who depend on the pork and depend on these abominable foods to live and sustain are gonna be basically assed out. This is Isaiah 55:11. So shall my word be that goeth forth out of my mouth. It shall not return unto me void, but it shall accomplish that which it pleaseth, and it shall prosper in the thing whereto I sent it. Right, so the Lord's word already went out. All right, it was already written thousands of years ago about pestilence outbreak, about a famine outbreak, about Babylon falling, about all the neighboring kingdoms. Moab actually losing its grips, as well as Gog and Magog and all these other nations, and we're seeing it transpire before our eyes. So you brothers just hold tight, hold in the spirit, and declare these prophecies, man. So I want to end by giving all praise, honor, and glory to you. How about Shema Shah, by Sharon Kakodash, double honor to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, and Shalom Akim.